This is Yuji Kodama of National Institute of Polar Research. I'm going to talk on Arctic Observing Summit and the third Arctic Science Ministerial meeting. Before starting, I'd like to thank especially the Hioiken to suggesting to giving this opportunity to present my talk. And also that I'd like to thank to the technical staff who helped to uploading this system. Okay, today I'd like to talk on the ASM1 and ASM2, just an overview of these two ministerial meetings. And then I'll explain the preparation of the third Arctic Science Ministerial. And then I'd like to talk on the relationship between the ASM3 and the AOS and try to answer these three questions. Those are what is the broader context of the Arctic Science Ministerial that AOS fits into, and what is the intended outcome of the summit, and for ASM3, what action ASM3 should take. This is quite a difficult question, but I'll try. Okay, let's look at the first Arctic Science Ministerial. Arctic Science Ministerial is intended to increase international collaborations and cooperations and advance Arctic research activities. And the 25 governments and EU gathered in Washington, D.C. on September 28th in 2016 to discuss Arctic research priorities and sign a joint statement. They made a report entitled Supporting Arctic Science. And in the report, they have a White House fact sheet summarize the international, multinational scientific activities, and also the Arctic Science Program synopsis. This is a compiled the two-page descriptions of national Arctic science activities. It has four themes. First one is Arctic science challenges and their regional and global consequences. Second, strengthening and integrating Arctic observations and data sharing. Third, applying expanded scientific understanding of the Arctic to build regional resilience and to shape global responses. And fourth, empowering citizens through STEM education, leveraging Arctic science. Prior to this ministerial meeting on September 27th, White House hosted more than 30 Alaska Native leaders and representatives from 5 international indigenous organizations to share their concerns and priorities. ASM1 recognized the AC's leading role in facilitating Arctic science cooperation. The second Arctic Science Ministerial was held in Berlin on October 25 and 26. The ASM2 was to further international cooperation and increase the pace of understanding of the rapidly changing Arctic. They made a report entitled Cooperation in Arctic Science Challenges and Joint Actions. 25 countries and the European Commission 6 indigenous peoples organizations and 10 international science organizations discussed on specific themes which reach across national boundaries and provide opportunities to advance understanding of and ability to respond to major societal challenges in the Arctic. The report consists of the joint statement, a summary statement of the science forum, and science summary by and Arctic research overviews of each participating country and organizations. There are the 3 themes. First one is strengthening, integrating, and sustaining Arctic observations, facilitating access to Arctic data, and sharing Arctic research infrastructure. Second, understanding regional and global dynamics of Arctic change. Third and last, assessing vulnerability and building resilience of Arctic environments and societies. Prior to this ministerial meeting on October 25th, the Arctic Science Forum was held. In there, 33 countries and organizations submitted contributions, more than 260 projects, from which a science summary was developed. The third Arctic Science Ministerial will be held 21st and 22nd of November this year in Tokyo, co-hosted by Iceland and Japan government. This ASM3 consists of science fair on 21st November and ministerial meeting on 22nd November. The science fair is the opening ceremony of the third Arctic Science Ministerial, and it is an opportunity for the scientists to meet with the ministers or high-level governmental officers. And so, and second day, 22nd of November, it is just devoted whole day for official meeting of ministers. And in the ASM2, they had a Arctic Science Forum, but for ASM3, we have a same science process separated to the 3 symposiums. One is the 6th International Symposium on Arctic Research, and the Arctic Science Summit Week and the AOS. The third one is at the 10th International Congress of Arctic Social Sciences. And the ISA 6 is moved to the online meeting, and it's now ongoing. And also the SSW and the AOS is doing right now. And then the ICAS 10 was postponed to 2021, but the organizing committee is expecting the IASA, that the mother organization for the ICAS 10, will arrange input to the ASM3. The themes of the ASM3 is knowledge for a sustainable Arctic, which consists of 4 sub-themes: observe, understand, respond, and strengthen. The organizing committee is from the Japanese Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology, Icelandic Ministry of Education, Science, and Culture, and the National Institute for Research. We have a science advisory board as ASM2 did, and here is a list of the members, and those are Arctic science experts from all over the world. We are planning to solicit the national deliverables on the Arctic research overview of the country and update on the projects submitted as deliverables to ASM1 and ASM2 and new research initiatives since ASM2 and new information on the science agreements already in place and all suggestions on where enhanced collaboration would be beneficial. And then last one, recent and planned research priorities and needs. So the Arctic Science Ministerial produced these reports and joint statements every time. And especially AS1 had summarized each country's or international organizations' Arctic research. So they know each other what they are doing. And after the ministerial meeting, and there was a development in the value tree analysis, which connects that essential Arctic variables to the societal benefit area. And it's done by the SEON and STEPI Science and Technology Policy Institute and reported entitled International Arctic Observing Assessment Framework. And this work is succeeded by the Finland Meteorological Institute, and same value tree analysis was done by EU IMOBA. In the ASM2, they suggested the actions in the joint statement that the ministerial international collaboration should do. And after this ministerial meeting, they created the working group for Forum for Arctic Science Funders. Now they just moved from the preparatory phase to the implementation phase. By the ASM3, we are building on the result of ASM1 and ASM2. So because that ASM2 is suggested the actions, so ASM3 should get some agreement on the implementations. So let's look back the ASM2 joint statement, especially for actions for corporations. In the theme 1, it said that we should move from design phase to the deployment phase of an integrated Arctic observing system. They are mentioning about SEON and Copernicus and SIOS and DBO. In the same 2, they're suggesting enhancing the international cooperations in the Year of Polar Prediction, YOP, and Mosaic, which is underway right now. And the other thing, for example, increase predictive capabilities for Arctic weather and climate, and improve confidence in predictions for future Arctic change. In the theme 3, they are suggesting enhancing the multilateral scientific cooperation between Arctic and non-Arctic states, indigenous peoples, local communities, and societal and economic stakeholders. And also, they are saying that developing the research and educational programs to support indigenous language, culture, and economic practices, and sustainable ways of living, and heritage resource preservation. So the relations between AOS and AMS, we should look at the aims of the ASM. One of the main goals of the ASM is to increase opportunities for international Arctic science collaboration and cooperation. To assist with this goal, what can AOS input to them? And AOS is designed to bring together all who are interested to advance the design, implementation, coordination, and long-term operation of an international network of Arctic observing systems. So there is a question I just raised in the beginning. What is the broader context of the Arctic Science Ministerial that AOS fit into? What is the intended outcome of the summit for ASM? What action ASM3 should take? So what is the broader context of the ASM3 that AOS fit into? This is just we have to move from the design phase to the deployment phase of an integrated Arctic observing system. And so as I say that the ASM2 suggested many actions. One of them is this subject. So we have to discuss about the implementation or deployment. It is easy to design, but difficult deployment. It is easy planning, but implementation is quite difficult. Let's look at the SEONS and Sustained Arctic Observing Network. This is a joint initiative of the IASC and the Arctic Council. It is created to strengthen multinational engagement in and coordination of pan-Arctic observing. SEON's intent is to unite Arctic and non-Arctic countries and indigenous peoples in support of a systematic network of activities through structured facilitation. SEON partner nations' activities are independently initiated from bottom up through revolving funds. SEON's vision is to bring these parties into a connected, collaborative, and comprehensive long-term pan-Arctic observing and data system, which serves societal needs. So that each partner countries of ASM is investing quite a lot of resources and doing actively the Arctic research. But those are not connected. And there is a room to discuss about the international collaborations in the Arctic observing. SEONS identifies the need for the roadmap for Arctic observing and data system, so-called ROADS. This is organized around essential Arctic variables. And then those are described in guidelines for contributing to SEON's roadmap for Arctic observing and data system. Okay, this is just try to connect the AOS to the ASM3 and the SEON and Arctic Funders Forum. SEON had a strategic plan for 2018 to 2028. And along the strategy, they made a guideline for the roadmap. And those are followed by the AOS and working groups 1 to 5 are doing the activities. And the organized committee of ASM3 wants to have an input for the Arctic Science Ministerial for the international collaborations. And ASM3 is going to have a joint statement, and which could recommend the Arctic Funders Forum should do. Also, the AOS can report the result to the SEON, and the SEON can report to the Arctic Council, and the Arctic Council can make recommendations to the Arctic Funders Forum, which hopefully could lead to the integrated pan-Arctic observing and data system. Okay, going back to the third Arctic Science Ministerial, we have a website at this address, and please visit this website. And in the website, there is a feedback form, which you can input your opinions and comments to the ministerial meeting. So please try to fill in this feedback form. Thank you very much for your attention.